Greetings, everyone. This is your boy, bobbya1984, coming to you with another Call of Duty Black Ops gameplay. Play. And let's see, we're playing us Domination here on WMD. I'm super juiced because it's a pair of split screeners on the other team, so you know Dippo, Magic Enigma, Chris Crucial, and Oxtail, they about to go bananas on these boys while I try to play the objective and help us get this W. But today I want to talk about my favorite movie genre, which is the horror genre, especially since I didn't get a chance. I was going to do a commentary yesterday, but I didn't get a chance to come to work. I had to deal with a couple of things at home. So I thought, you know what, I can still do it today. So since Halloween was yesterday, I planned on doing a commentary about my favorite horror franchise, which is the Halloween films. Now, I've loved these movies since I was a kid, and I've just been watching them more, especially every Halloween. You know, they have a marathon and pretty much show all the Halloweens. But this year, AMC had something they called, I think it was a Fear Fest or Fright Fest or whatever it was called. And pretty much every day they had different horror movies on. So last night and pretty much all last week, I was watching the Halloween 1, Halloween 4, which is the return of Michael Myers. Or is that the return or revenge? That's a shame. It's my favorite franchise, and I can't even tell you which is which. Let me see. Part 6 is the curse of Michael Myers. Part 5, I think, is the revenge, and part 4 is the return. So I'm watching these films, and I'm really paying attention to the story and to pretty much to everything that's going on now. Personally, the first one with John Carpenter that he directed is my favorite one. That one, it just had, like, it wasn't, like, drop-dead scary or anything like that, but it had those creepy moments. The atmosphere was pretty creepy. Jamie Lee Curtis was the truth. Donald Pleasance as Dr. Loomis was the truth. And I just enjoyed that one, you know. And for me, Michael Myers didn't seem like this superhuman, unstoppable force until the end of the movie after Dr. Loomis put 6 slugs in his chest. But before that, the atmosphere was great. The music was fantastic. It just had that nasty music feel to it, you know. But I really enjoyed that one. Part 2 picks up right after the events of Part 1, and you still got Jamie Lee Curtis, which I think is a really good actress. Dr. Loomis is back. What's his name? Donald Pleasance is back as Dr. Loomis, and it picks up right after the events of the first one. So I enjoyed that one. And then we skipped to Part 3, which I have no understanding of what the hell that was about. I don't even remember Part 3. I think that was called The Year of the Witch or something. I don't know what that was about, but Michael Myers wasn't in that one, so I don't care about that one. Now, in Part 4 is where things get stranger than they already were in the first and second one. And when I say stranger, I mean, when you really pay attention to this, the thing that's always bothered me, and if you follow me on Twitter, I've kind of brought this up as I'm watching the films. And one of my main gripes that I don't understand about Halloween and Michael Myers is where in the hell did he learn how to drive a car? He supposedly was locked up in Smith Groves Hospital, or whatever they call that place where they had him locked up for all these years. He's supposed to be locked up, and from the story, Dr. Loomis always talks about how Michael Myers was always just sitting and staring at a wall. So when in the hell did he go out and learn how to drive? And I can understand him hopping in a car and just kind of, you know, swerving off and smashing into things and doing all this crazy stuff while the nasty music's blaring in the background. You know, he just getting hyphy and just doing his thing. You know, ghost riding the whip and all that. I get that, but my man drives the car as if he's been driving for 15 years. I mean, he's cruising, he's doing all these things, and as all these movies go further and further along, he's driving more and more. You know, in Part 2, I don't remember him driving that much. He kind of was sneaking around. And he's in people's car. But in Part 4, when he escapes in the beginning of the movie, he goes to a gas station, kills employees there, and he steals a tow truck. And he drives to Haddonfield, Illinois. And I'm going, wow, he must be really good with directions, because he knows exactly where to go. And when you see Dr. Loomis is walking along the highway, Haddonfield isn't close. Haddonfield, I think, is a good, 98 miles away or something like that. So my man knows the exact stop, which exit to get off of, and all these things. In Part 5, is he driving in Part 5? Let me see. Part 5, he comes back for Jamie. I think, no, he's walking around in that one. He's creeping around. No one sees him. Man, he's literally in broad daylight. No one sees him walking around with these coveralls and this white mask on. And that's another thing before I continue with the whole driving thing. That white mask was terrifying. Just this blank mask, and all you saw was those eyes, those empty, just dark eyes behind that mask. It's freaking scary. Let's get back to the driving. In part 6, and this is where things get a little confusing to me, because in part, 1 and 2, he's chasing after Jamie Lee Curtis, which is his younger sister. I get that. Part 4 and 5, he's supposed to be chasing after Jamie Lee Curtis's daughter, who's played by Danielle Harris. And they say Laurie Strode, which is Jamie Lee Curtis, her character dies. But the thing that's crazy about that, in Halloween H2O, which is 20 years later, she's back alive and she's in California under a different name. So did they fake her death? I think I missed that part. Did they fake her death so that he wouldn't come after her? And when did she have a child? You know, there's no mention of that in Halloween H2O whatsoever. That throws me off. But let's get back to the driving. In part 6, after part 5, which I think, you see how I let him shoot the rocket at the chopper gunner so I can get mine in there? That's cold. But part 5 had to be the most ridiculous of them all. You got the mysterious man in black who's walking around doing all these things. You don't know who he is. It's like he's Michael Myers' guardian angel. You see how he breaks him out of jail at the end of that movie, coming in guns blazing and shoot everybody in the police station? That threw me off. The whole time I'm watching that movie, I'm trying to figure out who the hell is this mysterious man in black. Not only am I confused about where Michael Myers learned how to drive a car, now I'm confused about who this mysterious guy who's not scared of Michael Myers, who's actually here to help him and save him, you know? And part 5 had the worst cliffhanger ever. So you go back, what's the girl? Danielle Harris, who's playing Jamie, which is supposed to be Jamie Lee Curtis's daughter. She goes into the police station at the end of 5. You see everyone's dead. Michael Myers is gone. The mysterious man in black is gone. And it just ends, you know? Then you come to part 6. Jamie is no longer a little girl. She's grown. She's had a baby. She's in the hospital somewhere giving birth. And now Michael Myers is coming to get her and her baby. And all of that just throws me in the loop. I'm like, what's going on? And all the while, part 6 continues, and Michael Myers is driving again. And he's actually chasing her in the car. While she's driving her car, he's chasing her. And again, he's driving, he's chasing her down. Nasty music's blazing in the background. And it's, I don't know, I get so confused, man. I know you're not supposed to put this much thought into these especially into these horror movies, but damn, this is confusing, right? And then after part 6, we go to Halloween H2O, and it's as if part 4 and 5 and 6 never taken place, because now you got Jamie Lee Curtis's character, Laurie Strode, back. Now she's under a different name. And now it's as if none of that stuff ever happened. Now she has like an 18-year-old son who's played by Josh Hartnett. And then Michael Myers somehow made it from Haddonfield, Illinois, all the way to California. So you're telling me he drove all the way across the country to come get her? These things aren't making sense to me, man. I love these films. And you would think after all of this, what I'm going through right now, you'll think, damn, he really hates this franchise. And that's not the case. I am complaining about it because they tried to tell these stories about him being, I guess, possessed or whatever with this coat of thorn or whatever the hell they tried to explain in part 6. It just got more and more confusing to me, you know. One thing is to have him driving, and I don't know where the hell he learned how to drive. And then you had the mysterious man who's protecting him in part 5. And then part 6, you turn out to be the mysterious man is a friend of Dr. Loomis from the first movie. All that stuff just throws me into a loop. But I know I've been complaining and ranting about that. Please, if you're a Halloween fan, I need you guys to comment in the comment section below as the signing off music comes on, because I really need some horror fans, some Halloween fans to chime in on this. But if you enjoyed this gameplay, man, please subscribe to IGN, click the like button, follow me on Twitter at bobbya1984, and we gone.